Hello. Hello, this is Olga Jevtich. I'm a fashion designer, Miss Virginia Senior America 2003. Thank you very much for coming in and welcome to Fashion Notes. I'm going to start for our male viewers with what is new and exciting for now. You are going to be surprised. Do you believe men in tights? This is on the runways, and you will probably think, what is she talking about? Telling us that the new must-have item is a man in pair of leggings. They were showing leggings in Milan made of microfiber, cotton, and wool, some even cut above the knee. That was very unexpected. I am sure that lots of men will wear leggings perhaps around the house, watching DVD, or maybe washing the car. So it's up to you men to accept or not for new fad in men's dressing. Well, let's now move to the women's fashion. Precious metals shine in almost all collections, especially in movie premieres. Gold tone stiletto add punch to shimmering gold sequences and tops. Gold may be the color du jour, but silver is equally chic, and you will be seeing a lot more of it. Metallics are here to stay. Little black dress, what we call LBD, is a simple, no-frill, straightforward, timeless, never trendy. The sleeveless dress designed by Givenchy and worn by Audrey Hepburn in the 1961 film Breakfast at Tiffany was sold by Christie's auction house in London for $807,000. Coco Chanel is given credit for popularizing little black dress about 80 years ago. And if you just change accessories, it will look different every time you wear it. The big news for spring and summer is a dress key item in every collection and very little pants. Shorts and glitz and combo on blues and yellow. Now, scarves. Let's talk about scarves. This is accessory the most foolproof as long as you know what to do with it. It is important not to let the scarf wear you. Surprisingly, number of women does not know how to drape and tie scarf in very flattering, imaginative ways. Also, color is very important. Pick your color based on eye and hair colors. A few years ago, the craze was pashmina. Young women discovered the scarves were not old lady thing. In addition, for example, Fred Astaire used a scarf as a belt, and Cary Grant used as an ascot to hide his broad masculine neck. When Grace Kelly broke her arm, she used the Hermes scarf as a sling. I'm sure you have your own idea how to use a scarf. There are plenty of magazine articles with the diagrams on how to tie a scarf. Remember Imelda Marcos, former Philippine First Lady, who made headlines for her collection of shoes, has a new project. She's planning to launch Imelda collection of fashion jewelry. Good luck, Mrs. Marcos. There is a style for all of us. If you find something that works for you, stick to it, even if designers are not showing at that time. I hope you will find the style most flattering for you. Now is the time to go shopping. Happy shopping! Now, I have a very interesting guest. You will probably find her familiar face because she was a guest before on our show. And I saw her recently at the Sugarloaf Crafts Show, and she had a new and exciting new line, so I had to invite her again so she can show you what kind of design she's doing. She specializes in sizes for very small and mid-size and large size, any size you can imagine. She can do it. She also goes to different shows year-round. I don't know how she makes all this stuff. and still have time to travel. And I asked her, and she says she doesn't even sleep because, you know, she has to work all the time. Her name is Denise Karbasi. As you can see, she got so many awards for her show, and she was featured in the magazines, like in this art magazine that comes out from Chicago. And this is her picture with her work. And now I have a pleasure to introduce to you Ms. Denise Karbasi. Thank you very much for coming
Thank you for
again.
having me, Olga. It's a pleasure.
And you know, we have models here today, so you will see what we are talking about. She told me she was an artist first, and then she graduated slowly to do fashion design and to do with silks. When did you start your work?
That's interesting. I knew when I was really young I wanted to be an artist. I started painting when I was 5, and I went to the College of Arts when I was 11, started very young. I always dabbled with color. I'm known for my color background. Went to the Corcoran. I studied the philosophy of color. So a lot of what I do is the life of color, the rhythm of color with gestures and the paint strokes and the brushes I use. But I started young, and then I started as a potter, then I into watercolor, I did wall art, and then did a very colorful jewelry line.
Oh, you did jewelry before?
I did jewelry, yeah. And there was an evolution from that because the jewelry I did was very colorful, and it was very hard to find designers using colors at the time, and clothing was obsolete for color. So I created my own clothing line and started dabbling with the paints and the textiles, and that's kind of how it evolved.
And so you do your own painting, you know, the silk painting?
I do.
How is the process, you know? What do? Do you buy just the bolts of fabric, just the one color?
Yeah, it actually does. It almost comes in an off-white color.
Off-white,
And there's different textiles and different fibers I use, so different textiles and fibers use different textile paints.
Oh, I see.
Then
So you have a studio, and you have, you know, do you use kind of boiling water, or you know, or any, or how do you do it?
Okay. There's many different
I'm sure there are many different techniques.
techniques, and I don't know if the cameraman can zoom in on this picture here, but in this picture, you will see that the background is all one color. This is done by airbrushing. And you saturate the fabric with water before you do the airbrushing, because that's your medium to get the fabric and the paints to move together. And that causes a saturation of the color when you wet it. Then where the artwork is, there's a little bit of a white along the edges. I don't know if you can see that in the picture, but that is what I use a relief substance before I do the airbrushing that blocks that area of the fabric, so that when I go to paint later and put the design on, that there is no color transferring to that when the fabric is airbrushed. Then it gets boiled in, boiled off. It's done in a layering process. They call it relief dyeing. And when you boil off a color, then you are left and you remove the resist, which blocks the paint from that area. Then I paint in that area. That way it doesn't blend with the background color. So it's done in a layering, boiling in, boiling off, heat setting. And there's different techniques. I use Goudas, which actually black the paint. Other people will size the fabric sometimes with a substance. It's called Easy Flow. And that will prepare the fabric so you can do very detailed work without your paints blending. And then there's also the free form, which I also do with no Gouda, where I paint very distinctly far from another pattern so that it can bleed on its own but not touch the other pattern.
I see.
That's why there's distance between all my work.
Okay, when you start, for example, do you have design in mind, and then, you know, paint the fabric, and then cut the fabric and do it, or you do it when you garment already sewn? How do you do it?
That's a very interesting question. The painting gets done on the textiles before the garment is assembled. I do maybe 50 yards at a time, mainly because I can't handle anything heavier than that. That's when the fabric gets saturated.
50 yards is a lot of yardage.
It's a lot. It is, yeah, and it's not done on it. Most people work on small screens and do very small pieces. I do mine on a laundry line. It's hung when I do it. So it's done certain time of the year, weather permitting, outdoors. Sometimes I do it in a warehouse. It depends on the elements and the time of year.
I see.
So yeah, that's one thing. And then when I do the painting, and we do the assembly of the jacket, once the dyes are set, it takes maybe a day to a week to create a color because it's done in layers and processes.
So does this, for example, the design inspire you to do particular design?
Oh, okay. I, one, being a water child, two, growing up a portion of my life in Hawaii, got a fever for the Orient. I love the Asian culture and the Far East and the colors that they use, the gestures in their artwork. They're kind of sensual but contemporary. So my background, what I picked up this particular art form, one of the many that I do know, it's called sumi brush painting, and this was founded in the 1900s or 900s by the Tang Dynasty in China. And the brushes that they used were a lot smaller. This is one of my brushes, but they can come in different sizes. And these
but actually, the brush is dry now. Because
it's dry.
When you wet it, it's going to be just
real
a regular
sloppy and very that this size would be very loose. So you have to have a very delicate play. You're right. It does change its texture when you do wet it. These brushes in a smaller form were used in the Tang Dynasty to do their calligraphy, which sumi brush then was taken up in the 14th century by the Japanese, where they get the name sumi comes from ink pictures is what the word means. So they only used black ink, and they did this with their calligraphy. So basically I'm using the calligraphy brushes with an Asian influence in the brush strokes I use with a contemporary color. So I think it's kind of borderline on contemporary with the Far East feel.
Wow, this is a really complicated process, and I'm really admiring her to doing that.
Thanks.
And also they look different with different design. We have models today. We are going now to see what we are talking about. And when we see the first model, please, and Denise is going to explain this jacket. It's a beautiful green color, which interesting design on the back, which is very interesting. Tell us, Denise, about this garment.
This one is very characteristic of what I do because you've got the Asian feel to it. You have very unique, delicate lines and essential play on the patternry, but the color also is called peridot with a tulip water brush stroke. So if you look closely, you can kind of see that I use a tulip pattern in my painting, so I call this the tulip jacket.
Tulip jacket, very pretty. Thank you very much. So did you do this painting when the jacket was totally finished?
Oh, that's another good question. Absolutely not. What I do is I do 50 yards at a time, paint the dye lot, and then when I go to do my patterns, I put little windows in my patterns. So they get isolated, and we take the patterns and we trap the artwork and then cut from there.
I see. So you know where. Can we see the other next model, please? This beautiful white hair, young face model is wearing something very light, shorter in the front and longer in the back, and it can be worn with something very simple. And what kind of fabric is this?
Okay, this is a crepe georgette, which is great for our spring line because it doesn't wrinkle. It's very hard to wrinkle a piece like this. You wash it, you hang dry it. You can even blow dry it in the bathroom if you get a little something on it. It's dry.
So this is good for traveling.
Absolutely.
You just put in your bag, and it's ready to for next time. It's really interesting. I like the colors, like a hot pink and blue. Can we have another model, please? Now we have a Monica. She's wearing some interesting jacket. This is like a classic jacket, isn't it?
Yes.
Classic blazer jacket in interesting color. And so this is a different technique. I can see this is a technique that in the same family of color.
This technique is used with a different sumi brush. It almost looks like a claw mark down the front. It's used with a brush like this. It gets dragged with a little bit of paint and not a very heavy saturation of water when you do a piece like that.
Thank you, Miss Monica. It's really very lovely. I would like to show as many as possible pieces because they're all different. Can we see a
This
model?
is a beautiful color combination.
The color combination is absolutely magnificent. Like different shades of pink and peach with the hot pink, and it's very classically done. And it can go from the office to any dinner party or any place you can wear it. It's really brighten up any outfit.
Absolutely, it's a great piece for that reason.
So you make, small sizes and big sizes, any sizes, because we all come in different sizes, as you know. This is another, combination on black and turquoise. And this is also crepe georgette.
This is actually, it looks like it's a crepe georgette. This is unusual fiber. I work a lot with microfibers. One, I like them. They hang better, they clean better, they wear up better.
And it's interesting that they take the color, when you paint them, this microfiber. And I know they're very, easy to care for, which is, beauty of it. So you don't have to take it to dry cleaner.
A lot of my things, unless they're lined, you can wash and hang dry. But if they are tailored, then you need a dry cleaner just because you want to keep the tailoring nice.
Yes, of course. It's really very beautiful. Thank you so much. And so she's wearing just a very plain outfit, and it just brighten up. So let's see, I really would like, to show as many as possible because she brought many interesting things. This is another jacket.
This you can tell too, Olga. If you look at the artwork on this body, you can see some white shining through. This is rare to be able to capture that with the sumi brush painting, but basically how that happened was I put a little extra relief
Isn't it like a freehand, because you have exactly the same on the left and right side, so you have to really have like a sturdy and hand that you know what you're doing, otherwise it will look funny if one side is different than the other side.
Part of that's the placement too of the pattern. I have people that work with me in the studio that are trained just to learn how to cut my artwork.
So this is all actually a jacket, which is interesting, also asymmetric line, which is most interesting, I think, with the drop sleeves. And what kind of fabric is this?
This one is a silky peach skin, and it is very characteristic of my line with the mandarin collar, the Asian front, and like a kimono style.
It's kimono, but it's kind of, with a twist. It's not really kimono.
Exactly.
Can we see on next model, please? I would love to show as many pieces as possible. They're all beautiful. This is the blue and kind of blackish gray. And this is like a heavier fabric.
This is what they call suede silk. It's a microfiber that has silk in it.
Oh, and this doesn't wrinkle, and it can travel beautiful, is that right?
It's great like that.
And it just doesn't take very much space in your suitcase.
Not at all. And we also mold these jackets, meaning I heat set a fiber to the inside to shape it so it doesn't lose its shape, like you said.
Is it lined?
It's lined and sculpted. It's a little bit different than what most people do.
Is it also a hand wash? You can
dry clean.
Dry clean on this one. It's beautiful. Thank you very much. It's really very interesting. And here is something very colorful for the spring and summer. Also jacket in georgette, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
So georgette, and see, it comes in really very different colors, but they all go together beautifully.
They do, and this one is done with airbrushing, block printing, and some dye work. A little bit of all techniques there.
Very nice. Thank
you.
you, Monica. Oh, yeah. It's interesting what you are doing. How do you get all this idea? When you go to bed, you say, I'm going to do this in blue or purple or whatever.
That's the key, is studying the art of color.
Yeah.
I never knew that I would need it so bad until shops had me start designing and say, what would you put with this? What would you put with that? And by a creature habit and trial and error, you kind of pick up the feel for it once you work with enough of the public.
Yes, I think so. This is very, very colorful, purplish and blue. Yeah, this color is very lovely.
This is a popular color.
That goes together, and also, with the plain, any pant or skirt, it just adds, to the exciting, outfit.
Really does.
Another jacket in georgette. Blue, and your favorite color looks like it's a blue in purplish.
Love it. Love it. And it's most people can wear it. That's another reason.
Yes, it goes with everybody. Yes, and it's a very pretty color, and you have a touch of like a hot pink and gold. Very nice. Thank you so much. Very nice. Yeah, she brought so many things, and I would like you to see as many pieces, because they're all different and different colors, and also not just different colors but different design. And this is like a green family of colors with a touch of Criscom. You know, how do you call this color?
Yeah, it's almost like a brown family. I have a rule of thumb. Citrus families and leaf colors go with the natural, like earth tones. You'll see the model coming up now is wearing what I call sun-kissed, and it's got a tropical flair, but you also have the safari colors, and they seem to go along.
Yeah, this is like a citrus color,
yes.
that's right. You know, you don't have to go being in Florida to wear it. You can wear it wherever you are to bring sunshine to the wherever
Look,
you are
middle
going.
of the winter,
Yeah,
you know?
winter of the winter, and you, I'm sure, feel instantly, bright and colorful. Very
it's a beautiful
pretty.
piece
Thank
too.
you.
I do love that color combination.
Yes,
myself.
it is interesting combination. It looks good on anybody. This is another green. But a different green and different color with the brown. And also the front is asymmetric line. And it goes with the skirt or the dress or pants or whatever you are wearing. It goes well with anything plain on. Very pretty. Thank you very much.
That's the beauty of a wash car, what they call a wash car hem. You can get away with other things.
I can see how talented she is, because you always have some new exciting things, and this is also another interesting jacket that goes beautifully with the short skirt.
Yes,
and it's light, and it comes in the different colors and brighten up the face, and it can any ladies can wear it.
Absolutely.
No matter what hair color it is. It's very colorful. Thank you, Miss Monica. Yeah, you can wear it open or you can wear it closed.
Absolutely.
Either way, it looks really very pretty. This is another orangey. And what kind of fabric is this? It's also some...
it's a silky peach.
Silky. It is. It feels like it's very silky and also very practical. It doesn't wrinkle.
No, it's a very great for traveling.
With a kind of little Asian influence, isn't it? But with a twist, it's very pretty. Thank you.
This is what says a lot about color. You can have 3 of the same shirt in different colors and different patterns, and it's no two are alike. They have their own distinct personality.
Yeah, this is a more plain, and it looks like it's a silk.
Yes, this is a silk shantan.
Shantan in very deep purple.
And again, you have some Asian lines, with a little bit of the Asian
and
textile.
this can, you could wear it to the office, or you can wear, just going out for dinner, or you can just, anywhere. It's a simple, elegant, very simple, elegant. Thank you. It is really lovely. And she's really fascinated with the colors, and I can see the models are coming with orange, green, touch of brownish, and it just drapes very nicely on the body and holds lovely. Thank you. And it has a pocket, so you can use your pockets if you want to.
You're right. People do like those pockets.
Yes, I know. It's very handy to put your glasses or something in the pockets. They're very practical. And this is a very classic blazer, of course, with different interesting color, a combination of color that she's famous for, and it looks very beautiful on her.
You're getting your citrus there again with the safari colors because they work well. I mean, you put the earth tones with the warms and they work well.
Thank you so much. We have another green, but different green. So you can, just see combination of green with different colors. That's how it goes very beautiful. And she has a back pockets too. And as you can see on the front is differently cut. So it's different front than the back. And, it's very light, easy, practical. You can take it. And you can wear it, year round, actually, with summer or winter. So there is no season for it. Thank you very much.
You can actually layer that with a mock turtleneck if you wanted to wear a longer sleeve.
Oh, yes, and layer it for the, absolutely.
This is a more contemporary
This
look.
is a beautiful jacket, very long and stylish, longer length and pink and beige, and has some kind of brownish. Oh, I love this jacket. This is very, very
Thank
nice,
you.
very stylish.
I give
beautiful.
that a name, and I call that Harvest Rainbow.
Oh, I think it's
got
a
those colors you
perfect,
described.
perfect name. And this is also very light. You can wear it, you know, wear a bathing suit or evening gowns, and you can just pack one thing when you go to the beach and be glamorous in the evening and also good on the beach.
That's exactly what people
yes,
think.
absolutely lovely. Thank you. And we have a longer version coming up. Look at this. This is kind of kimono, isn't it?
Yes.
Influence of the kimono.
Absolutely.
And blue and purple, her favorite color. Yes, very, very lovely.
That you get with an ombre effect. With the airbrush, you do darker on the bottom with your saturation, and you kind of bleed out your airbrushing as you go along. Thank you, Fern.
Lovely. Thank you so much. And we have a citrus color again. Well, you know, we got so many colors,
so
and
yummy.
I don't want you to be confused. But there are colors for everybody. I would like to thank you, Denise, very much for coming today, and beautiful models for showing beautiful things. And you can find Denise in every Sugarloaf craft show. She's there. Thank you very much for watching. I would like you to hear from you, positive or negative. I hope everything is positive. And we are trying to feature more artists and more interesting design in our next shows. And I'm so thankful that she came again and to show you her beautiful, beautiful things that I am absolutely so excited to show you. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time, Olga Jevtich reporting for Fashion Notes.